the routine that I found for myself that really helps me thrive in lockdown. Now, of course, lockdown will never be an ideal situation for any of us, and I'm not trying to say that, and in no way, shape, or form do I mean to come across as insensitive to anyone and to their struggle in this moment, but I do feel like finding the practices and the mindsets that help you function at your best can really help you transform this time into something that is a lot more, pleasant even than what it would be like if you just kind of went down a negative spiral. I feel like what helped me trudge my way out of these trying times was just all the practices that I've kind of accumulated over the last few years that really helped me function at my best, and I really just had to reignite my motivation and really stick to them, and that's what I want to share with you guys today.
Yeah, man, I remember being so naive when life was good, weather and palm trees.
Last few weeks, I've been challenging myself to wake up at like 7:30, 8 a.m. Ideally, I aim for 7, but if I'm going to bed later, then I'll just do 8. And the reason for that is because it really just gives you time to gain momentum for the day. And I am lucky that I'm able to wake up at this time and still have a few hours for myself, so I don't have to wake up any earlier. For me, waking up early gives me time to really sit in my own feelings and kind of generate some motivation for the day, because to be honest, most mornings I don't really wake up that motivated, which leads me right onto my first tip, which is to journal in the mornings. Now, usually when I wake up, I will make myself coffee, obviously brush my teeth, all that, and then I read and I journal. And I usually do flow of thought journaling, which is what I would recommend, which is literally just writing down whatever you feel, like whatever's on your mind. And the reason why I think it's so helpful is because it gives you that chance to really sit in whatever you're feeling before trying to change it. So, if you wake up in a bad mood, which ironically enough I did today, before you go on and you're like, okay, I'm gonna meditate, work out, be productive, see people, maybe not so much now, but it gives you that time to at least know what you're feeling. And funnily enough, most times that's actually enough to really make you feel a lot better. Like, just acknowledging the feeling and sitting in it makes the world of difference. After I journal, I will usually read something. I just started reading The Gift of Imperfection by Brené Brown. After I'm done with reading and journaling, I usually exercise. Sometimes I switch the order of these things, by the way. I'm not too hard and fast with how I do it. But today was more of a rest day, so I just did some yoga, and then I meditated, which I also try to do most days. I do think that especially if you're staying home for the whole day, moving in the morning really helps to wake you up and give you some momentum. So after I'm done with my exercise, I will, shower and get ready. Which is another super important tip that I feel like we've all heard, is like to actually get ready for the day. I've kind of always been the kind of person that does that, but I do feel like it makes, a huge difference, because on the odd day when I do stay in my sweatpants, it really just feels like I am not as motivated to do stuff. After I'm done with my morning routine and after I've gotten ready for the day, I will usually just make some breakfast, which is definitely one of the biggest tips I have, is to eat healthy. I know it's incredibly generic and you've heard it 1,000 times, but I've definitely felt the difference that it does for me, even in the last few weeks, where I would say that I'm always someone who eats relatively healthy. But, I think I definitely had like a period of a week or two where I was like maybe eating a bit more chocolate, maybe eating a bit more pasta. And it just really slugs you down over time. Obviously a day of that will not do anything, any harm to you. But if you do it for a couple of weeks, you start feeling the difference. So yeah, for breakfast, I made my smoothie. And then I also had this vegan vanilla protein pecan bar that I made, and that's one of my favorite recipes. And I wanted to share it with you guys just because it is perfect for lockdown. because I feel like we're all snacking so much more now that we're around the house. And this is such a healthy, easy snack. And it's super delicious and very nutritionally balanced because it has your fats, your proteins, your carbs. I will have the full recipe as well as the measurements listed in the bar down below. But generally it's super easy. There are no bakes, so all you do is add the ingredients, which are vanilla protein powder, some maca powder, some stevia, some oats, vanilla extract, a flax egg, some almond milk, almond butter, coconut oil, and I think that's it. Oh, and some chopped pecans, of course. And then you just mix it together. The only thing I would say is it shouldn't be too, like there shouldn't be too many wet ingredients, so you kind of have to use your hands to kind of knead the dough. And then you just press it into a tin that you've lined with baking paper, and you stick it in the fridge for a few hours and you're good to go. After breakfast is usually when I get cracking with my day. So one of my biggest bits of advice that I have is using a timer. So basically just setting intervals of like 40 minutes or whatever, and then starting the timer and working for that time. Now this is like a basic piece of advice that you hear a lot in terms of just studying and productivity, but I think that especially if you're just chilling on your own, if you're like me and you live on your own the whole day, it really just helps to like shape your work and give you some motivation and some structure. Today I just did some planning. I wrote my to-do list for the day, and then I planned my week because I'm filming this on a Saturday, so I just wrote my to-do list for next week, which is my next tip for staying kind of motivated and productive in lockdown, is to definitely write a to-do list, and especially I would say write a weekly to-do list, because I think that those are the ones where like when I look back on them, I can really tell how I've progressed over the last, year at this point, because I feel like so many people say like, oh, I don't know where the last few months have went. I feel like I've done nothing. And for me, the biggest game changer is having a log of what I've been doing. And also I feel like this is so helpful with setting your own goals, especially again, if you're like me and you're in between jobs. It really helps to, if you say like, oh, I want to start studying French, I'm not, but something like that, then you can really just write down, okay, study French for 5 hours next week. And then, in your daily to-do list, you're like, study French for an hour today. And I feel like when you do that, it really just makes it a lot more concrete, and it prevents you from yourself, quite frankly, and it just helps you actually do what you say that you're gonna do. Afterwards, I just went outside and walked through the park to my friend Miriam's place because we were hanging out that afternoon, and it was a beautiful day. The weather here has been amazing. It's literally been 18 degrees, which is crazy because just last week there was snow everywhere, but that honestly made my day, and I was able to wear my new coat, which I was very excited about. Let me say hi to the vlog. Just creeping on you.
I was like, is this symmetrical? Look at myself in the mirror.
They tell the truth, even when you wish they wouldn't. And then there's Doh-y. Guys, it's the next day, and I never ended up finishing the vlog yesterday, so I just wanted to wrap things up here and just summarize what I've been talking about throughout this whole video. Because for me, if I had to boil it down to just 3 things, thriving in lockdown comes down to having a routine. So really like waking up, having these daily rituals, using a planner or a journal, and just really giving yourself a chance to feel like you're progressing, even though the situation is obviously not ideal. I feel like we can still do a number of things to help ourselves not feel stuck. And then the second thing would be getting fresh air, both metaphorically and literally. So going outside, but also just getting new ideas. So talking to people in whatever way is possible and safe. So could be virtually, could be in person if you can. And again, if it's safe. And just really trying to keep exposing yourself to new information in some way, shape, or form, again, so that you don't feel stuck and you don't feel like you're stagnating as much. And then the last thing would be to just seek out joy, and just really try and do something that makes you happy every day. So again, I know for me, hanging out with friends or talking to friends is one such thing. Watching Sex Education is another thing. I've become obsessed with that TV show lately. I know I watched it last night. I didn't really film it, but that's been honestly like one of my highlights of all of my days. But yeah, just find what brings you joy, stick to it, and I'm sure that sooner or later we'll get through this and we'll have gotten on the other side, and hopefully we'll have grown in some ways from the experience. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys liked this video and I hope it was helpful. And if it was, then please do like and subscribe because it helps me out a lot and I appreciate it. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!